Hey Guru Nation, what you're about to see is my site, specifically one of our CRCs, that is the Community Outreach Director, Lana, and then the sub-investigator, Jaime Vaya, is doing a Community Outreach Lunch and Learn. Just a little sneak peek. Obviously, we had to edit a lot of the study-specific stuff out, but our PI found this outside clinic that does a lot of, sees a lot of patients and sees a lot of foot traffic, and he wanted us to go out there and do a lunch and learn with the nurse practitioner and the owner of that clinic that does not do research. So we went out there, we kind of explained what some of the studies are, and this is something that I think every site should be doing. Yes, we have Patient Ace, and we do Patient Ace is an amazing tool. Yes, we have our own PIs that have their own patients, and if you look here, we have computers of access to the EHRs, and we can mine the EHRs. And yes, we have medical assistants that at these clinics of our PIs that help refer patients, but really it's doing the outreach. It's going outside of your internal leads, because I call all of those leads internal leads, the leads that come from within our own PI's database, or Patient Ace is not really internal because most of those patients are not part of any of our PI's private practice. But when you do outbound community outreach, this is what it's all about. It's educating other providers. In this case, it was a mid-level provider, a nurse practitioner, and she was super interested in referring, and she's gonna be referring lots of people for a couple of our studies. So the more of this that sites do, the better your accrual rates are going to be when it comes to getting patients for your studies. And obviously, this is real community outreach. This is how you improve diversity outcomes in your studies. This is what sites do. That lunch that we catered was not cheap. It was like $200. The coordinator's time, the sub-investigator's time, not cheap. The opportunity cost of them being in the clinic doing other things, that's a real cost. So this is something for the sponsors as much as the sites to look at. Like, there's a lot of effort that goes into these community outreach events, especially lunch and learn. I believe next month we're going to be doing one called Howling at the Moon, and I'll be vlogging about it. It's another outreach event. It's not a provider event or anything. There's no nurse practitioners. This one's going to be a community event where people gather, and they do it every month of a full moon, where they just kind of party and have food, drinks, and they allow vendors to come set up booths. So myself and Lana are going to be out there. We do this regularly, and every now and then we'll invoice sponsors for the costs, whether it's the cost of the actual materials, the food, the time of the staff, whatever the case may be. So this is where your money is going into, sponsors. Just know, at least here in Macolingo Trials and a lot of other sites like ours, the money is being put to good use, and the ROI on those dollars, those outreach dollars, does go far. And thought you might enjoy this little behind-the-scenes sneak peek of what one of these events actually looks like.
Yeah, we'll get some.
Yeah, I'll get some.
I was gonna do it for you.
What's that?
I was gonna plate it for you, but go ahead.
No, after you.
Two MDD studies, also as well as a bipolar study. So if someone mentions it, they happen to talk to you about it, there's a solution here. And then we also have our COPD.
Okay.
So these are our COPD clinical trials, as well as asthma. So anyone who comes in who's struggling with asthma or struggling with COPD, so we'll leave you, like the do's and don'ts, what they can be on, what they can't be on.
Okay.
I can actually give you all that. But right now we're pushing for asthma and COPD, respiratory.
All right.
That kind of intertwines with allergies as well sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's just there's not really that many requirements for the COPD and the allergy, as far as just non-smokers. I think that's what they're striving for, which is pretty understandable.
And so is this a generic study that's going to be sent to the pharmaceutical companies or certain pharmaceutical companies?
With that, so we run trials for each different one of them. So this is one trial that we do for this company. This is another one we do with this company, et cetera, et cetera.
So I would just have to let the patient know where to call?
Correct. So then we'll leave all their cards here. So
Okay.
if
This is not on the market yet?
No. This is a complete trial.
Gotcha.
This is an auto. They
Okay.
stay what they have, and then we just add this one on.
Oh, yeah.
The
Well, I do lots of biologics. I do a lot of antibodies. So
Oh,
we do
okay.
for Senra, we do all of that.
So when there will be a exclusion for biologics.
Okay.
Like if they had biologics
In the
within
past?
certain amount of time, there'll be exclusion. Where I'll put that in on
Okay.
the inclusion for you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That'll be more Dr.
But
Shaw.
I definitely do asthma.
Yeah. So both of them are with Dr. Shaw.
Okay.
Dr. Shaw is the PI.
Yes, he's the one that called me.
Yeah. So he'll be the one, overseeing everything we do.
What's this one?
This is Lily. This is moderate to severe plaque psoriasis with
Oh,
obesity.
wow.
It helps this major depression disorder.
Yeah.
This one is a good one because it's syntactic.